When Rob Manford's talking to you about geographic realignment and expansion, you'd be well served to listen and assume that people aren't talking off the top of their head, totally irresponsibly, without any prep, without any script in front of them, talking what's in their mind. You have to assume that they're doing things purposefully. When Roger Goodell clearly said that he is going to be aggressive as it relates to international growth. Don't forget, the first game internationally in London was only 2007. We're not even 20 years past that, and now there's games all over Europe, practically every week. And once you go to 18 weeks, 18 games, there's going to be international games every week. Book it. Roger Goodell said, we've always traditionally tried to play a Super Bowl in an NFL city. That was always sort of a reward for the cities that have NFL franchises. What he meant is it's the reward for the public financing of a stadium, that what you say to the public or to the officials when they're putting $1 billion into the stadium, you say, hey, Kathy, you get a new stadium in Buffalo, we'll work hard to get you a Super Bowl. Wink, wink, because owners really want to go to Buffalo for the Super Bowl. No chance. Move on. But then he said, this is Goodell. But things change. It wouldn't surprise me at all if that happens one day. And what he was referring to was an international Super Bowl. This was during a fan forum in London. Do you think that he wasn't prepped on how to answer that question? Do you think that he felt the need to lead Londoners down a path where there's going to be no payoff? Do you think that if there weren't going to be a Super Bowl in London, he would have answered that question slightly differently, which is, hey, who knows about going forward? But right now, we are solely focused on the U.S. and all of the new stadiums, and there's always new stadiums. There's always negotiations going on, and there's certain players owners love to be come February in their yachts. But he didn't. Instead, he said something quite different, which was, hey, it wouldn't surprise me at all. Hold on, Roger, you're the commissioner. What exactly does surprise you? You're in charge. So, you also have an owner. Who would be the right owner to be a spokesperson for a Super Bowl in London? Who would that be? Would it not be Shad Khan, the owner of the Jaguars? Would he not be the perfect person to carry that water? Would he not be the perfect person to get people ready for the idea that London can host a Super Bowl? I would say so. And how about the London mayor? The London mayor is also named Khan, coming out and saying, hey, you bring the Super Bowl to London, I got news for you. It's going to solidify us as the sporting capital of the world. We want it. It's important to us. You get owners, then you get mayors, then you get commissioners, and before you know it, the last thing you need is broadcasters. Why is that an issue? Because the broadcasters love the idea of an all-day pregame leading up to a 6 p.m. kickoff, which is really 6:17 on Super Bowl Sunday. People like to barbecue. You're watching 10 hours of programming. Well, with the time difference, you would not be able to play a 6:17 Eastern Super Bowl game. That would be 11:17 p.m. kickoff in London. Not going to happen ever, because it would defeat the purpose, because all the Londoners and Europe people would say this is absurd. So therefore, the game would have to be at 6 o'clock London time, which is 1 o'clock Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. And you know what? We're going all night pre-game. No problem. The NFL is so strong, they can put pregame on starting at 3 a.m. on the West Coast time without an issue. People wake up to watch it. You want to start pregame Sunday morning? It's breakfast at the Super Bowl. You heard of breakfast at Wimbledon? Breakfast at the Super Bowl. We start up at 6 a.m. Eastern time, go right to 1 p.m. kickoff. Everybody's happy. And the amount of money that the NFL brings in by having a Super Bowl in London is way greater than any lost revenue by not bringing it to New Orleans or Miami, because you always have next year. But if you announce a London Super Bowl with 5 years out, you will have 5 years of Europe growth, the likes of which you will not have seen since '07. You will have sponsorship interaction and revenue growth that you have not had since '07. You will have the ability to broadcast this and get rights to the broadcast internationally in a way at dollars you haven't had. streamers who have international capabilities. Can you imagine for 1 second when you do your media deals and opt out of them, which is what the NFL is going to do in just a couple of years? And you opt out, and part of your new media strategy is that one of the streamers, Netflix, Apple, Peacock, name it, they get the Super Bowl and the international rights to the first ever Super Bowl in London. It's cha-ching. I'm talking about the level of cha-ching that the NFL wants that furthers the distance between itself and the NBA. It is exactly what the NFL should be doing. It is exactly what the NFL will be doing. This is not me telling you this is some pie in the sky. Forget about it. They're doing a trial balloon to see how Americans will react to it. The NFL doesn't give a good GD what Americans think about a Super Bowl internationally because there's a whole world out there outside of America, and the NFL wants their money.